For the Waterside, our members have always meant a lot to us. We have a real sense of friendship and community here, and without all of you, that just wouldn't be possible. The purpose of the trees is to commemorate members who have sadly passed away, and the plan is to add more in the future so that in a small way we can honour those who have meant so much to us. Over the years, we have lost some wonderful members, and we are brought together today to commemorate 3 who are truly missed by us all. And that is Brenda, Jack, and Peter. So my first memory of Brenda was meeting her not that long after she joined, actually, and she arrived with her walking stick on tow, and she'd come off the bus, and she was here determined to lose weight and battle her diabetes diagnosis. That she did. And she became a real inspiration for a lot of people, I think. And personally, I feel very lucky that she chose us as the club to do that at. Jack was a fantastic storyteller. Myself and Jack actually grew up in Nottingham, and we lived on the same road in Manchester for quite a few years. We didn't know it at the time, but we always had lots to talk about. He was very quick-witted, charismatic, and always had a kind word to say about everyone. I know the Waterside became a bit of a home from home for Jack, and we were happy to be that for him. Peter, or Pete, as we called him, has to win the award for the best laugh. He had a wicked sense of humour and a big heart. It feels quite appropriate that it's me standing up here today, as I was fortunate enough to be chosen to narrate Pete and David's pantomime, Pilates of the Caribbean. What fun we had putting on that show. Yeah. He was such a creative, talented and kind man, and along with Brenda and Jack, he is sorely missed. So I'd now like to hand over to Dave Bolton, who will be performing a song entitled Absent Friends.
Hello. Come raise your glass and drink to absent friends. Call to mind the best of times and happy hours we'd spend. Let's not be sad, no, let's be glad for all the hours we'd spend. Come raise your glass, drink to absent friends. That's your bit. Well, here among this company, I think it's fair to say almost everyone has someone who wish we're here today. If the chair beside you's empty, or the bed beside you's cold, if there are arms you long to rest in, or a hand you long to hold, come raise your glass and drink to absent friends. Call to mind the best of times and happy hours we've spent. Let's not be sad, no, let's be glad for all we shared with them. Come raise your glass and drink to absent friends. You mix it. It may be a long-lost lover, or a father's guiding hand, or a comrade left forever in some far-off foreign land. Certain special someone that you think of every day, the one you always turn to when the others turned away. Come raise your glass and drink to absent friends. call to mind the best of times and happy hours we'd spend. Let's not be sad, no, let's be glad for all we shared with them. Come raise your glass and drink to absent friends. Oh, it's the match that can't be argued. It's the joke that can't be shared. It's those quiet conversations, though you know nobody's there. It's a hunger food can't satisfy, a wound that can't be healed, a past that's not forgotten, or a future not revealed. Have a go. Come raise your glass and drink to absent friends. And call to mind the best of times and happy hours we'd spend. Let's not be sad, no, let's be glad for all we shared with them. Come raise your glass and drink, absent friends.
You, but I thought that was wonderful. It was a song that, well, it really speaks about how we feel about people, doesn't it? Everybody hear me all right? No. Yeah. Hello? No? Hello? Right. I don't know what I was saying, but it doesn't really matter anyway, does it? Okay, now it's my turn to say something. And I've got a little bit of verse that I want to share with you. And when I was thinking about choosing a piece of verse for today, I thought, what do I need? Well, what do we normally do? We Google things these days, don't we? So I Googled something about friends, and absent friends. And I expected something to come which would be talking about our feelings about the people that have passed away, Pete and Jack and Brenda. So I Googled it, and the first one that came to me was the one that I chose. And surprisingly, it says nothing about our feelings whatsoever. What it does say is, well, it's advice from those that have passed away, maybe that we can take on board and help us to deal with our feelings. It's a particular piece of verse called Farewell, My Friends. And it's a piece from the Gitanjali, which is a collection of poems written by a Bengali poet called Rabindranath Tagore. And I will read it to you now. Farewell, my friends. Oh, but it was beautiful as long as it lasted, the journey of my life. I've got no regrets whatsoever, save perhaps the pain that I've left behind. Those dear hearts that love and care, and the heavy with sleep ever moist eyes, the smile in spite of the lump in the throat, and the strings pulling at the heart and soul. And then I remember the strong arms that held me when my own strength let me down. Each morsel that you fed me was filled with love. At every turning of my life, I came across good friends. Friends who stood by me even when time raced me by. But now I say farewell. Farewell, my friends, I smile and I bid you goodbye. No, please shed no tears for me, for I need them not. All I need is your smile. And then in the future, if you feel sad, do please think of me, for that is what I will like. Because when you live in the hearts of those you love, remember then that you never die.
So now, everyone, I'd just like to welcome Marina, Pete's cousin, who will now unveiling of the trees.